What is up, everyone? I'm back. I know I was gone for a few days. I was out of town. You're like, I got scared. Where did he go? We did 3 videos and he disappeared. No, I'm back. Ozzy just died. Just saw the news like 5 minutes ago. So I'm sad. So we're listening to Black Sabbath. We're listening to Master of Reality. I have this box set of all 10 Ozzy albums on CD. And they're all in these little, cardboard sleeves. It's pretty cool. It came out, I don't know, 10 years ago, some box set thing. But it's the all 8, not 10, all 8 Ozzy albums. I have several of these on vinyl, and I have standalone CDs of a couple of them. Decided to throw this on. I don't have a favorite Sabbath record. Master of Reality is probably close. Sweet Leaf, which is playing right now, is my favorite Sabbath song. Just always has been. So anyway, that sucks. Can't say that I'm surprised. Not in good health. I'm glad that they did the final show. So that sucks. Rip Ozzy. Okay, we're going to get into the CD collection again, picking up on the ends. First, I have something cool. First, thank you. Not of This World. My t-shirt company, Not of This World. NotofThisWorld.store. Talked about it in the last video. Several people made orders. Thank you so much. New shit going up every day. We had a new drop go up this afternoon for Cellar Dweller and the Boogans. So, on the topic of horror movies, I just got this fucking holy grail right here. So this is the original release, the Wizard Video big box VHS release of Lucio Fulci's Zombie on Wizard Video. So, if you're a horror fan, you know what this is. If you're not a horror fan, this is a very famous zombie movie called Zombie. Lucio Fulci, of course, was a famous Italian director who made this kind of as his own sequel to Dawn of the Dead. So Dawn of the Dead, which was the sequel to Night of the Living Dead by Romero, was called Zombie everywhere else in the world except for America. In America, it was Dawn of the Dead. So when Fulci made this, everywhere in Europe, it was called Zombie 2. And it was kind of like his attempt at a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. But it's really just a standalone movie. And in America, it was called Zombie. And then this is the original VHS release. It came out on beta before this, but this was the VHS release. I've got... Hold on. So, I've had this for 25 years. This is a clamshell VHS copy of it. The Anchor Bay clamshell. I bought this when it came out. 98. So I've had this forever. I've got a couple of DVDs and a really nice Blu-ray of it too. Anyway, this was always sought after. I remember this sitting on the shelf at the video store when I was a kid. Big box, everything. When I say big box, if you're not a VHS nerd, it means that it is in a larger box. So this is a regular VHS size box. And these were called big boxes. And this is what VHS came in the early 80s because they took up more real estate on the shelves and people were more apt to pick up a big box movie. Inside, I'm not going to open it because I've got it in this acrylic case. There's a tray. A tray comes out, it's a plastic tray, and the tape sits in it. So, I don't know, 10 or 12 years ago, Charles Band, who owned Wizard Video, who now owns Full Moon Pictures, released copies of this that looked identical. And he's like, oh, we found some extra copies of these in the warehouse. They weren't. They were reprints. I bought one and never opened it. And it just sat on my shelf sealed for years, for a decade. And I knew that it was a reprint, even though he tried to push them off as being original. But I still was able to sell it on eBay a few years ago for like $200. And I said, I'm going to sell this, and eventually I'm going to get another one. And lo and behold, this fell in my lap the other day for a really, really awesome price. And it's beat up. It's wrinkled and old, but it's not faded too much. And I bought this acrylic case to put it in. So total Holy Grail, prized possession, zombie, big box, wizard video. Okay, so we're gonna get into the CDs. We are in the ends, and I have only one CD by Necrophobic. What was this called? Mark of the Necrogram. I like Necrophobic. I like their first couple albums a lot. I have those. I have the first 2 records on LP. I like the more like old school death metal sound of Necrophobic. And when this came out, I had not paid attention to them in years and years and years. And they dropped this, and it had really good cover art, and it looked dark. And I listened to a song and I loved it, so I bought it. And this is a great, just melodic death metal record. If you like Necrophobic, if you like shit like Sacramentum and, you know, just kind of melodic black death metal, this is good shit. Haven't kept up with them since then. I think they put out 2 or 3 albums since this one. Next, I have 2 separate versions of Suffocated in Shrink Wrap by Necrotic Disgorgement. Necrotic Disgorgement is a super ultra brutal guttural death metal band. I love this CD. This is brutal death metal, but there's also like solos in it, which is not, you know, to be like gurgly and technical and pingy and but then to have like, you know, kind of extravagant guitar solos. That's Necrotic Disgorgement. And I want to say that I had one of these. These are both Comatose Music. I don't know which one is newer. I'm going to say that this is the newer version because it's got more info at the bottom, and this one just has their logo. Well, I don't know. This says remixed and remastered, so fuck, I don't know. Who cares? I've had a copy of this for years and years and years, and I've always loved it. And then one day I was in a store, and I bought this one because it was used for $6, not realizing that I already had it was the same album. I just knew that I really like Necrotic Disgorgement, and I ended up buying the same record. So anyway, it's good. It's awesome. They put out another, I think this was the first album, then years later they put out a second album, which I did not care for because there was too many like sweepy solos on it. Like sweet picked solos, just not for me. So, but this rules. Ultra brutal death metal. Okay, and then we've got Necronology by Herman Kopp. So this is all really creepy violin music. If you've ever watched the films of Jorg Buttegrit, Necromantic, Dercotus King, Scram, this is all the score to those. Herman Kopp did the music for all of those, and this is the songs from Necromantic, Dercotus King, Necromantic 2, and then a couple bonus tracks. But it's just really creepy, horror-sounding violin. Love it. Then we have this, which is in Russian, but it's Ninevist. You see it on the edge there, Ninevist. This is really fucking grim, cold Russian black metal. I'm assuming Russian or Ukrainian, one of the two. This came out in like 2006. This was on Wraith Productions. So Wraith Productions, when I had a black metal project 25 years ago, Wraith was a small kind of boutique label that formed and then put out a CD by that project for me. And we've been friends, and me and the guy are still friends on Facebook to this day. But he put out several things throughout the years on his label, and this was one of them. Ninevist. I don't know if there's a title to the album or if it's just Ninevist, but there's 6 songs, and if you like shit like Druk or Underdark or Ravensdark or Nitberg or any of that Blazebirth Hall stuff, right here, really good. Okay, I have 2 CDs by a group called the New Amsterdams. And if you're familiar with the emo kind of punk band, the Get Up Kids. This was a side project. It was the singer, and I don't know who else, but this is like folk punk. It's punks with acoustic guitars, and I had a soft spot for it. I don't know if there's more than these two albums. These are both 20 plus years old. And I just always really liked them, and one day finally said, hey, I'm gonna buy those. Like this one, what's the name of this one? I don't know. The New Amsterdams, Para Toda Vida. Have no idea, like, if it's the first, the second, whatever. But I like this one, the songs. My Old Man Had a Pistol, Picture in the Paper, 4 More Years, Adeline, Out of Tune. Such good shit. But really, like, it's not metal. It's not metal adjacent. It's old punks with acoustic guitars. Which generally I'd be like, fuck that. Folk punk sucks. Let me put that out there. Folk punk sucks. Speaking of embarrassing punk, Newfound Glory. So Newfound Glory is a pop punk band from South Florida, and I've always had a soft spot for them. This is their self-titled second album, I believe, and I bought it when it came out. Was looking forward to it. It's good shit. I've never kept up with them since, but if you like pop punk, like Blink-182, but a little more underground, Newfound Glory, total fucking guilty pleasure. But if you like old 90s metalcore like I do, you might be familiar with Shai Hulud. They were this really dissonant, fucking angular metalcore, mathcore band from Florida in the late 90s. And their singer, this guy, Chad Gilbert, he sang for Shai Hulud, went on to form Newfound Glory, which he's still in 25 plus years later. And he's done a couple more stints with Shai Hulud. But yeah, if you like skronky, fucking weird Dillinger skate playing, but melodic 90s metalcore, check out Shai Hulud, especially the first album, which is the one with Chad Gilbert on it. But this is just total fucking sappy, guilty pleasure shit. Okay. I have one CD by Nittinger. I've always said Nittinger. I think that's how you say it. Nittinger. Nittinger. This is Greatest of Deceivers. The main guy behind Nittinger is the guitar player for Mayhem these days. He's been in Mayhem for years. But this was his band. What's his name? Is it Tellock? Yeah, Tellock. This is the second or third Nittinger CD, and I just randomly listened to it one day and fell in love. It's kind of technical, abrasive, almost industrial tint like Mysticum black metal, but just full of riffs, full of fucking stop starts, and it's technical and evil sounding, but I fucking adore this album. And then the one that came after this, so I got into them while this was out, then I was really waiting for the next one, which is called something Licking the Lights of Heaven, something, I don't know. It's good too. I have it on LP, but I have this one on CD. But this is a great fucking album. Okay. This is a CD that appears to not be on a label, and it's called Nillerade Fabilla Thorstar. Nillerade Fabilla Thorstar. And it's called Hakelsikistika. Something in Finnish, I'm assuming. And from what I remember, it's black metal. This was something given to me to review when I used to write online music reviews. And even though it doesn't look like it, this came out on Total Holocaust. So Total Holocaust was a fucking grim cult, fucking black metal label in the early 2000s. And anything on Total Holocaust was sick. I'll have to look up and see what this is all about, because I don't remember anything about it. So maybe it's awesome. I have to throw it on and see. Yeah, but there's no label information on the back, but it's on Total Holocaust. Okay, this is going to be a quicker one, because I'm already down to the last few CDs here. So, I have 4 albums by Nightingales. Nightingales are a melodic death metal band from Germany that owe more to like Sweden, but they've had a few distinct kind of eras. First one I ever heard was Nailwork. This came out in 2000, I believe, and this is just a cardboard sleeve version, and the CD is one inside of one of these other Nightingales. No, it's not. So I don't know where the fuck my Nailwork CD is. But it's melodic death metal in kind of the Swedish vein, but still distinctly like their own thing. Nailwork was when they kind of started to drift away from like, you know, Towards the Twilight was their first one, and it looks like that. It looks way more like a melodic death metal record. And I want to say that, like, yeah, they got on, you know, the young guys in fucking puffy shirts, and I don't know if any of these guys are in the band anymore. Their long-term singer was this guy, Bjorn Gubes. And he left. He was not the original singer, but he was on almost every album, and then their original singer from like the demo era came back, and he's in the band now, and they put out 2 or 3 records with him. But anyway, I love this band. Nailwork's really good. It's a little more abrasive than melodic, I guess, way to put it, a little more thrashy. And then the one before that was Thunderbeast. And Thunderbeast is just full of fucking riffs, man. It's so fucking good. So Nailwork was 2000. When was this? 98. So a couple years before. And Thunderbeast is also like, they started to drift away from the more like, you know, kind of puffy shirt look of this, with, you know, like the painted artwork to something more, way more 90s looking. And then this, I'm saving this one to talk about Towards Twilight. This is called Ashes and Ends, and it's like demos and cover songs and stuff not from records, I think. This is semi-recent. Oh, this came out in 2014, so I've had this 10 years. Anyway, let's talk about Towards the Twilight. Love this album. This is the one where they're more in the vein of like an In Flames or someone, Dark Tranquility, someone like that. But still, they have just enough of this like weird edge that set them apart. They had really, really, really interesting lyrics back then. But you know, this stuff is more romantic sounding. I mean, you know, Towards a Twilight Kiss, Of Beauty's Embrace, From Ebony Skies, Through Ashen Meadows. There's lots of like classical guitar parts on this and stuff, and but just a riff factory, man. If you like this like early Dark Tranquility, early In Flames, shit like Blaze My Sorrows, what's the one? I'm forgetting the name of an album now. Fuck. Anyway, shit like Sacramentum, even a little bit, you know, way more melodic than like a Sacramentum, but really, really, really fucking killer melodic death metal band. Like I said, they're still around. I haven't really kept up with them, but you can't go wrong, especially with these two. These 2 albums, God, they're fucking awesome. Anyway, that's it. I didn't think this one would go as quickly, so let's talk about this stuff. Look, this Nightingales with this big nuclear blast insert. I miss shit like this. Fucking filling out your order and mailing it in with a money order. Who did that back in the day? I know I did. Like, I remember buying shit off of eBay and having to fucking mail money orders to eBay. They used to make you work for it. Now, like, I can buy shit on eBay with one fucking click. Anyway, that's it. So this was a little shorter. I will flesh out the next one as we get through the ends. Like I said, rip Ozzy. That sucks that he passed away. Just heard about that. And so let's talk about Ozzy. Let's talk about Sabbath. Let's talk about this shit. And I'll be back soon.